At the meeting with the president, Law and Justice was represented by Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, head of the Law and Justice Club Ryszard Terlecki, and party spokesman Rafał Bochenek.
Czekamy na decyzję pana prezydenta.
We are waiting for the president's decision. I, for one, am convinced that the president will entrust this function to Prime Minister Morawiecki. If a majority government is to be formed, it will be based on three parties, namely Law and Justice, the Confederation, and the Polish People's Party. Will it be successful? This will all depend on a few weeks of talks by the Prime Minister. Before noon, the leaders of the opposition parties issued a joint statement declaring their readiness to form a government. The candidate for prime minister will be Donald Tusk. We are ready to form a government. Thank you for confirming the declaration that the leader of the largest party in these elections on the opposition side will certainly get a difficult mission to form a government, but this of course depends on the president. The president declared even before the elections that a candidate from the winning election committee would be appointed prime minister. There are possibilities, such as programmatic persuasion to govern together, if we were entrusted with such a mission. As you can see, for several days now, there have actually been very intense programmatic divergences within just the civic platform, the Polish People's Party and the left. They have already managed to quarrel over issues related to social programs. The opposition is trying to force the president to designate a candidate for prime minister as soon as possible. The Constitution speaks in general terms about what the president should be guided by, namely not only watching over the Constitution, but at the same time, that which serves to guard and defend the sovereignty and security of the Polish state. It is such, one might say, unethical even, to put pressure on the president and bring about a situation where he is forced by some politicians to make his decision, because all these actions taken by him are in accordance with the existing laws, in accordance with our constitution, and completely fulfill those terms that are indicated. In an interview with Solidarity Weekly, President Andrzej Duda indicated that if the new government wants to deviate from existing policies on investment, building Poland's security, defense, or the social benefits program, there will be a conflict of interest. Andrzej Duda, I think, remembers well the times of Lech Kaczyński and what cooperation, or rather lack of cooperation, looked like with the civic platform government of the time, and probably counts on the fact that he is facing a repeat of that time. I think he is facing the most difficult decision of his entire political career. The first session of the Sejm must be held within 30 days of the election, or by November 14th. Within the next 2 weeks, the president must appoint the government. If the government does not receive a vote of confidence, the Sejm will elect the prime minister. This requires an absolute majority of votes. In this scenario, the new government will be appointed no later than December 26th. All this will be important because the party will have to nominate a candidate for president in a year and a half, because it is the party with the greatest support today, so it cannot skip these elections and will definitely not do it. And on the other hand, it also has the same with the largest number of seats. Therefore, it may block some initiatives of the future government. Publicists point out significant programmatic and ideological differences among opposition parties seeking to form a governing coalition. Of course, the coalition will be difficult to build because the government consists of a couple of parties, some of which are shells. Let's say realistically, there are a bit fewer, but still, there will be quite a lot of groups, and building such a coalition will certainly be difficult. But it seems to me that personalities may cause a much bigger problem here. Szymon Hołownia and Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz said so much that we need new quality, that we need a third way, and that we need to move away from polarization and offer Polish people something new, because they simply expect it. At the same time, they point to Donald Tusk, who is to be prime minister. This reality is simply jarring. Tomorrow, representatives of the Third Way will meet the president at 11 a.m., the New Left at 1 p.m., and the Confederation at 3 p.m.